Let's bring in the Dean of Pepperdine University School of Public Policy, Pete Peterson, and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Welcome to you both. Leslie, the 38% approval rating is really just the beginning of the bad numbers. I want to put these up because here's the Biden's handling of economic concerns. The North poll says the following: his handling of the economy, 31% approve, 68% disapprove. And then you go on, the Washington Examiner says the following, quoting, unemployment is low, gas prices, while a bit high at $3.45 per gallon, are still tolerable. If only 31% approve of Biden's handling of the economy now, what happens when things actually go wrong? This is a bit of trouble for the president.
I'm hearing Dionne Warwick's deja vu being sung because this is exactly what everybody said before the midterms. And yet, of Democrats, he had, in 24 years, the best midterm election of a president for Democrats. And, you know, I'm not really worried. One, the election is a lifetime away. Two, you have economists that have been saying, a year ago they said we were going to be in a recession in 6 months. 6 months ago they said it would be now. Now they're saying it's still going to be 6 months. And as you pointed out, we're seeing record numbers of unemployment low. And in addition, in the past week, we've had 1,000 less people applying for unemployment just in the past week. These are all things. The economy is headed in the right direction. Of course, people read the headlines and they get nervous when they see the things with the bank. But there are the headlines, and then there's the reality if it actually affects them.
Leslie, that's the whole thing, is that America doesn't think so. Because here's the thing, I want to put this up. This is right track, wrong track, right? And the wrong direction, 21% of Americans think that we are on the right direction. 78%. Pete, think we're on the wrong direction. And as we have said before, you can't get 78% of Americans to agree the sky is blue. I want to put the expectations up next because this is also important. This is expectations, right? And only 15% things, and to Leslie's point, that things are going to get better. And look at the bottom two numbers. 85% say it's going to be the same or worse next year. That is a bad omen.
Yeah, the two pieces, I call them the two I's, inflation and international worries. And so much of approval ratings really have to do with how Americans think their future is looking. And they had been told for months that inflation was transitory. It's still 6% or above. We were told again that this support for Ukraine was going to turn the tide. That's still undecided about what's happening there. And then we see the stories just breaking tonight in Syria. And a lot of Americans are wondering what is America's role in the world? Yeah,
and what's the budget going to be for the military? Because a lot of generals had said, listen, the budget is insufficient. We need more military. I want to move on to Ron DeSantis. Here is the governor of Florida talking to Piers Morgan. Watch. Yeah, he's focusing on Biden, but he still has to go through Trump.
Yeah, that's a hurdle that he has to consider. And here is the problem, not just for Ron DeSantis, but, you know, Mike Pence, Nikki Haley, who have spoken about Donald Trump out of both sides of their mouth. And that's going to be problematic because, you know, voters aren't stupid, and they're going to remember what was said and what wasn't said. And, you know, Donald Trump is going to tear each of these people, you know, verbally, limb by limb, and we'll see if they're able to defend themselves.
Kamala Harris said a lot of bad things about President Biden in the last go-around as well.
Joe Biden and Donald Trump are very different people.
So here's the political rights. The following here, the conundrum DeSantis finds himself in, Pete, facing is among the first indications that he may struggle with the same political dynamics that have tripped up past Trump opponents. Align yourself too closely and get tagged as a cheap imitation. Attack him and be tarred as a traitor to the cause.
I used to think in the beginning that there was only a single kind of Trumpish lane, and in that it was either going to be Trump or DeSantis that made it through. But I have to say, as we look at the other Republican candidates that are coming in, there's either a Trump or I prefer not Trump lane. And in that, I still think DeSantis, when we look at where the other votes are going to come from as these other candidates drop out over the course of the campaign, I think they go to a DeSantis and not to a Trump.
It's going to be fascinating. Pete Peterson, Leslie Marshall, thank you both.